Greetings, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for your presence, for joining me today, and for your curiosity about whatever I talk about. I did start the channel to shout from the rooftops what I discovered and what I continue to discover on a daily basis. And pretty much, I've been doing this channel since November 3rd, 2020. The day of our US presidential election is when I started. And nothing's really changed. Except, I continue to grow and evolve as I live on planet Earth, as you are continuing to grow and evolve as you live on planet Earth. I think the most exhilarating discovery that I made since I started to meditate every morning for 20 minutes without fail is that I have worth. And anybody who knows me in real life probably, well, if you're really sensitive, you know, but if you know me just as an acquaintance, you might not know that I, up until, relatively recently, have been existing in a low level vibration of low self-worth and self-esteem, really none. And it was all kind of a front. So that's been, for me, that's the reason why I started the channel, is because daily meditation, only 20 minutes, such a short amount of time, such a tiny little, what's the word? I can't think of the word. It's when you invest, such a tiny investment for the huge dividends that you get. So that's why I started the channel. That's what I'm here to testify about, is that once you get into it, after, I don't know how long it will take. Right now, probably won't take very long. The planet has shifted into a higher vibration itself. There's so much happening that we don't even see or know about every day. The magnetic field around the planet is lessening and lessening, and so much more light is coming onto the planet, much more energy of light. That's why we're starting to see everything. All the little dark corners are being shown. So now is a perfect time to start if you haven't already started, because you're going to be assisted in a bigger way than perhaps you had been if you had started 10 years ago. And if you used to meditate and then you sort of gave it up just because blah, well, guess what? Right now is the perfect time to restart it up, because you will make leaps and bounds, and your world, the way you perceive the world, is going to change. It does happen gradually. I remember the first time I started to notice this just strength in my being, I was just like, whoa, that's really different. And I forget, I think I was in the kitchen, just standing in the kitchen, and I just felt bolstered. I felt a worth that I hadn't felt before, a value, an importance, that what I do matters. And what's true is, no matter where you are in your life, what you do matters. What you do affects everything. we are pure energy. We are pure vibration and frequency. And when as we live on the planet, our frequency goes out in waves. Out in waves. Can you imagine the rippling on a clear pool, lake, something? When you throw a stone and it ripples out, and you can watch those ripples go and go. And sometimes I wonder, where do they go when it's on the water? But so just know that your being and whatever frequency you're in right now is affecting every person on the planet. And that when you raise your frequency, no matter what it is that you do, all kinds of things raise your frequency. And I've talked about it before, but I'm happy to talk about it again. Changing one thing in your diet, eliminating white sugar will change your frequency. It will. I don't eat white sugar anymore. I don't know, it was years ago that I just decided that was my New Year's resolution, to stop eating white sugar for a year. And it wasn't that hard. I mean, even if you're a hardcore sugar addict, after a week, seriously, after a week, the chain is broken and the cravings stop. And over time, I learned, I just realized, wow, sugary things just look nasty. They look fake, they don't look real. Like if I looked at a cupcake, I'm like, oh, hell no. Would I ever put that into my vessel? No. It's just like white death. So, every little thing affects your frequency, up or down, high or low. I learned this great one, which is jumping jacks. And I haven't really been doing them every day. I used to do it every day. And I'm going to start back up. I haven't felt very well recently, so I haven't been doing jumping jacks, but jumping jacks, just do 20 jumping jacks. And the more you do jumping jacks, the stronger you get connected to your core. And it releases your shoulders, which is super awesome. Helps them to relax. It helps them just drop down. Makes you feel really good, like you're a kid. Skipping's probably I haven't skipped in so long, but skipping is another way to raise your frequency. Jumping rope, shooting baskets, all kinds of fun things you can do to raise your frequency. Meditation is huge. It's the biggest one for me that has raised my frequency, even if I'm feeling a little blue or down, which is a habit that I took on from a very early age. Even if I am feeling that way for a while, my frequency is still at the base, just amped way up, all the way up. Because in meditation, when I sit for 20 minutes every day and sit still and just follow my breath and let my thoughts come and go, I'm plugging in. I'm plugging into my inner being, which is part and parcel of the creator of all, the source, the highest power that dwells upon anywhere. It's the King Daddy and the Queen Mama. So when you plug into that every single day, you slowly but surely raise your frequency. And I think that's what I experienced that day in the kitchen, was just all of a sudden I felt it. I felt my new way of being on the earth. And it was astounding. And so I started, to realize that's what was happening, and that I feel like I'm coming out, and that's kind of, it is truly what's happening, is that anyone who knows me, including my family, they don't know me, really. Because I have been so afraid to share this part of myself, my soul part, my heart part. I've kept it clamped way down out of fear. And who knows where the fear came from. It could be from the family that I grew up in, and the way that spirituality was sort of looked upon as like a weakness. It could be from past lives where I was burned at the stake or killed in the Inquisition, or who knows. It doesn't really matter where the fear comes from. All I know is that the fear is lifting, and I'm coming out, and I'm here to assist with this planetary wide great awakening, and it's what I'm doing. And I don't care if anybody thinks it's dumb or that I'm weird. I really don't care. So you can just turn the video off and unsubscribe if you don't like to see it. That's kind of how it is, right? Right. Being a human is one of the most incredible journeys that your soul will ever embark upon. It's intense. Free will is crazy. It's like you get to choose in every moment where you're going to put your consciousness. And for me, it's been a journey of back and forth, in and out, sometimes being so lost in the dark that I just wanted to leave the planet. And so it's all within our control and within our power. It's our choice. You get to choose where you put your consciousness and your energy, and what frequency you want to live at. Personally, I want to live in the highest frequency that I can possibly maintain. And if you choose to do that, I'm happy for you. And if you choose not to do that, it's okay. You don't have to do whatever I'm doing. You get to do whatever you want to do, and you get to create the life you want to create. So I don't judge. I honor you for being a human on planet Earth, especially right now during this wild time. It's a wild, wild time, and it's time to buckle up. It's time to jump on your board. It's time to strengthen your abdominal muscles for real. Get your core nice and strong. Practice. It's going to get you a lot farther and a lot stronger than if you have just let your core go. Super easy to strengthen the core. You can do it every day. Start with jumping jacks. Start with 10 and see how that feels. And if you can keep going, keep going. I usually stop at 20. Maybe I'll bump it up. I think that's it today. There's so much more, but I will talk more about it again another day. Stay strong. Stay connected. Stay connected to the power source. Today I got this little vision of when you turn toward the power source, you can open up. It's like open up your heart center. And I saw like a feeding tube. It was kind of weird, but I saw a feeding tube from the power source to me. And when you open up that gate, you are given everything you'll ever need. Oh, and the other thing I was going to say is that to me, the power source is a frequency. It's a vibration. It's the highest vibe you could ever picture in your mind. It's brilliant. It's massive. It's grandiose. It's luminous. It's just brilliant. And there's no dogma here or religion here. So, you're free to use whatever ideology you want. You can choose to not believe in, traditional religion and the pantheon of gods that are within that traditional religion from whatever country, wherever you live, whatever country, whatever region on planet Earth. It doesn't really matter. You can choose to use any image images that you want. I'm not against religion, and I'm kind of against dogma. I'm not really a very dogmatic person. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like when you have free will and you're free, then you get to choose whatever, and whatever, however far out you want to go, you get to choose, and it's truly all good. I want to thank you so much for your presence and for listening today. I'm sending you love, and the wish that you will embark upon the path of raising your frequency and vibration. It's awesome and rad and fun. It's not always a walk in the park, but when you're turning toward that power source and opening up to receive from the power source, you're in. You can do no wrong, and no wrong will come to you. You're protected and you're safe. So I'm wishing you love. I'm sending you love. Peace.